Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to today's session. So today in the success story session we have with us Mr. Aviral who has cleared the RBI Grade B this year. He has a very inspiring and motivating journey that we are going to know about today, and he has given 4 attempts of the RBI Grade B. In the first 2 attempts he was not able to clear the phase 1 of the RBI Grade B, and in this attempt he has cleared the RBI Grade B. He has achieved his dream job. So, what was his journey? What he has learned from his mistakes, and what mistakes the other aspirants also do. So, these are some of the core points that we are going to touch today, that we are going to understand. And you have a lot to learn from Mr. Aviral, as when we were talking, he has a lot to tell. He has a very broad strategy that he is going to tell today. So, first of all, heartiest congratulations to you, sir, for clearing the RBI Grade B.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So, when you saw your name in the list, what was the feeling?
I couldn't believe it. Like after so many attempts of not getting through, it was like delightful. I checked my roll number 10 or 12 times. I asked my friends to check it also. Ki ho gaya hai finally. It was really good, really good.
And what was the reaction of your family when you told that okay, I have cleared the RBI Grade B?
Same उनको भी था कि they were also very excited. Initially, they also asked me कि check once again, पक्का हो गया है ना? And it was then they were also very, very happy.
Okay. So before moving forward, Mr. Aviral, can you tell a little about your educational background and how you came to give this RBI Grade B exam?
Okay, so I did my engineering from NIT Surat. I did civil engineering, and I did job for 1 year. Then after that, I started preparing for civil services initially. But during that preparation, I came to know about this examination, and I once I saw about the examination, uh, I decided yes, this is the field I want to go. I had developed some interest in banking and economics also, so I decided to pursue RBI Grade B rigorously from 2019.
Okay. So were you not afraid that you have to compete with the BCom students or MCom students and such that have the core finance and management subjects, and you coming from the like engineering background do not have that background. So what was your mindset when you thought that I will give RBI Grade B?
My mindset was that ki, I have some basics from civil services, and I can learn new things, finance and management, which I haven't read. I saw the syllabus and I believed in myself कि ठीक है, I have prepared humanities as well before, so I can do it. Finance management, and since it is a generalist profile, so I think everyone would be on a level footing
Okay.
during the exam.
And how was the reaction of your family when you told that okay, I'm going to give the RBI Grade B? Were they happy?
They were like take get some other job, take a private job initially, and like don't waste all these years in your examinations. You have already given a couple of attempts in civil services, so they were a bit hesitant initially, but I kept pushing ki nahi dena hai, I want to give this examination, let me try. And so they finally agreed.
Okay. And who was the support, the strength of yours in your preparation journey?
In my family, my sister was always there. She kept saying ki even attempt after attempt, I was not able to clear. After two failed attempts in phase one, she was the one that motivated me ki you have to keep giving, you will clear it. Identify your mistake, believe in yourself, and she was the one that was gave me maximum support. And then others were there. My father and mother also, initially though reluctant, they gave the support once it was decided कि exam देना ही है.
That is really nice. Now, like you have given UPSC attempts as well as when you came to give in the UPSC attempts, you were able to reach to mains, right? Three
Right.
times. But in when you were giving the RBI Grade B for the first 2 attempts, you were not able to get through. You were not able to qualify the phase 1. So what was the mindset at that time? कि मैं बना नहीं हूँ इस एग्जाम के लिए, I will not be able to give. तो मतलब क्या mindset था उस समय?
मतलब there were days कि बहुत low feel होता था. I thought कि नहीं होगा, I should leave, I should look for something else. But then I had other people who were supporting me constantly, and I kept some amount of self belief in me कि ठीक है, let's identify the mistakes, let's see क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, and then let's give it again. And I think civil services का भी pre निकला था, तो that also helped me motivate me कि ठीक है, it's the problem is something else, I can work on it, and if I identify my mistakes I can clear the exam.
So in the first two attempts, after the first two attempts, what were the mistakes that you identified?
In the first two attempts, I couldn't clear phase one, both due to different reasons, I think. In the first attempt, I think I didn't practice enough.
Okay.
So the cutoff went 122. And despite knowing all the topics, all the concepts, I was not able to do enough number of questions because the speed was not up to the level needed.
Okay.
So lack of marks and lack of practice caused me in the first attempt. In the second attempt, I again I was too focused on my previous attempts, like how was the pattern. I prepared for a fixed pattern of examination, and once in 2021 the pattern changed, and it came as a big surprise to me, for which I hadn't prepared, and I couldn't adjust in the actual paper,
Okay.
which resulted in not being able to clear.
Okay, so we can say that like you coming from the engineering background, and usually this is the perception that the engineering students, they are very comfortable with quant, they are very comfortable
Yeah.
with reasoning. So was the same mindset with you also?
Yes, and it costed me one attempt, definitely. In logical reasoning, I thought ki I'm very good in puzzles. So I will be able to easily do three, four puzzles and get the required marks in logical reasoning. But in 2021, the puzzles were really tough. And I wasted a lot of my time in doing puzzles, thinking कि ठीक है engineering का हूँ, मैं तो कर ही लूंगा. But that was not the case. It would have been better if I had done I have not taken it on my ego and given a lot of time to puzzles and done those single questions, logs and all, and then came back to puzzles. So I think that affected me.
True. So usually this is the mistake that many aspirants do, that I am from the UPSC background, so descriptive
Uh,
writing practices should not
mm,
be a problem for me. I'm from engineering background, quant or reasoning to ho hi jayega, or I'm from
mm,
this or that background. Even the banking students, like I was talking to one aspirant who has cleared RBI Grade B. So he had the banking background. He was from the banking sector, but still he was not able to clear phase one once because
mm.
the same problem came that the quant and reasoning are a little different in RBI Grade B
Different,
as
different.
per the other examination. So yes, you should not be too much like overconfident, or you should give many of the mocks. Like Aviral has
Yes,
also said, key practice is very important. Practice knowing about the pattern and not being overconfident in any of the uh,
yes. Give equal,
scenario.
good amount of weightage, required weightage to every section. Don't be overconfident because this exam is different. It requires different skill set. You may be very good in maths, but like, can you solve 10 questions in 25 minutes, which are of moderate to tough level nowadays? So even if
Yes.
you are good, you may struggle to do it if you have not practiced well enough.
Okay. And like you were giving the government examinations for 4 to 5 years. So, in this long journey of giving the government exams, was there any time that you felt कि नहीं हो पा रहा है, that I should leave this journey? And with this mindset, how do you come out of this mindset? What kept you motivated in continuing this journey?
Initially, yes, many a times I felt कि नहीं हो पा रहा है, कि अब मेरे में ही मिस्टेक है, I won't be able to clear it, टैलेंट का इशू है, नहीं होगा. बट इनिशियली अदर्स का सपोर्ट था, फ्रेंड्स का सपोर्ट था, बाकी यूट्यूब में मोटिवेशनल वीडियोस देख के कई बार अपने आप को अपलिफ्ट किया है. बट लेटर ऑन मैंने रियलाइज कर लिया था कि दीज आर जस्ट फेजेस, आई नीड टू गेट थ्रू इट, कि आज लो लग रहा है, कोई बात नहीं, टेक अ ब्रेक, एक दो दिन में आई कैन गेट अप अगेन.
और फैमिली की तरफ से कभी आया कि यू शुड लीव एंड यू शुड ट्राई सम प्राइवेट जॉब, कि इतना टाइम मत दो गवर्नमेंट जॉब को?
हाँ, मतलब एक दो अटेम्प्ट के बाद तो आने ही लगा था कि कितना टाइम हो गया, यू शुड डू अ जॉब, देर आर अदर गुड जॉब्स. उनकी तरफ से तो यही था कि जॉब ले लो एंड लेट्स सी, उसके बाद देखते हैं क्या करना है. बट आई वाज इंसिस्टेंट कि नहीं, आई वांट टू पुश फॉर इट एंड लेट मी गिव द एग्जामिनेशंस.
And you started working in 2021, right?
Right.
Okay, so you joined some private sector company at
Hmm.
that time. And now how, like after 2021, you have given two attempts, right? 22 and
Yes.
23. So how were you able to manage and juggle between the office work as well as the preparation?
मतलब in the first two attempts like 2021 तक I had my basics covered.
Hmm.
So after that कि मुझे बस current affairs mainly focus करना था and revision. So
Yes.
I used to make sure कि मैं weekends नहीं waste कर रहा हूँ because office days after office it was really hard to study even for 1 hour.
Hmm.
मतलब I came back around 6 तो लगता है कि हाँ 3-4 घंटे हैं पढ़ सकते हो but you are so tired of after that it was very difficult. तो वीकेंड्स मैंने मेक श्योर किया कि आई एम नॉट वेस्टिंग माय वीकेंड्स.
Okay.
नॉर्मल डेज में अगर 1-2 घंटा भी हो गया तो वीकेंड्स आई हैव टू गिव 7-8 आवर्स डेफिनेटली.
और
उसको
एक बारी
डिसिप्लिन फिर एग्जाम के नियर ऑब्वियसली यू आर ऑटोमेटिकली मोटिवेटेड कि ठीक है अब तो पढ़ना ही है खींचना है. तो एग्जाम के नियर आता है तो फिर डेली हो ही गया था काफी.
और जॉब करते करते लाइक यू नेवर फेल्ट कि नाउ आई शुड एंजॉय माय लाइफ, नाउ आई एम अर्निंग एंड आई शुड लाइक इन दैट फेज इट कम्स ना कि द मनी इज कमिंग, आई एम हैविंग दैट जॉब. सो देन हाउ यू गॉट आउट ऑफ दैट माइंडसेट कि आई कैन एंजॉय द लाइफ आफ्टरवर्ड्स?
हाँ मतलब कई देयर वर डेज की लगता था कि इट्स ओके इतनी अच्छी लाइफ हो जाएगी थोड़े टाइम में आई कैन डू इट. बट वही था सिस्टर का इसमें मेरा बहुत सपोर्ट हुआ. उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं इसको सोचा है करने की तो करके निकलो और अटेम्प्ट है तो व्हाई नॉट कीप गिविंग इट. एंड उनका बहुत सपोर्ट था इसमें और बाकी वही खुद का भी था कि करना है मन से था कि करना है तो आई वॉज एबल टू क्रॉस द हर्डल्स.
Okay. And you were in the social media like WhatsApp वगैरह था, or you detached yourself from the social gatherings from the social media?
Initially I did detach myself for 1 or 2 years. I deleted WhatsApp and no social media. But later on, I did start using social media, but I really limited my time.
Hmm.
So I used apps like which block access to my phones कि 15 मिनट से ज्यादा नहीं यूज करना है. उस टाइप के एप्स यूज करके आई कंट्रोल्ड इट.
So we can
बिकॉज
say,
रील्स अगर देखने लगो तो फिर did happen कि some days I started watching reels and 1 or 2 hours I wasted and then there's lots of regret and you waste another 1 or 2 hours in it.
yes, the shorts and the reels, they kept
Yeah.
on going and you kept on going with that. True, true. And so we can say that if your foundation has been laid down in the subjects, then you can work, you can give your part time to your
Hmm.
preparation, and the other part you can give to your job. So now, let's we have discussed about the complete your journey from where you started, and we will keep on discussing more about your journey. But let's get started with the strategy now, and let's talk about phase one. So phase one has the quant reasoning, English, and GA, and GA has the highest of the weightage. It has 80.
Weightage.
So let's
Hmm.
start from GA itself. So, like how you prepared for GA? What were your sources first of all?
For GA, like I divided in this attempt, I'm telling my strategy. In GA, I divided current affairs into three aspects. Like one is the miscellaneous things like sports हो गया and defense news. These are the things. So for these, I used a magazine and I covered only 4 months for it
Okay.
before the examination. And the remaining was ki, the static, which is asked in the उसके लिए मैंने अपने ही पुराने नोट्स जो बनाए थे एडुटैप के भी नोट्स रेफर किए काफी. एंड देन द थर्ड इज की इकोनॉमिक्स वाली जी इकोनॉमिक्स एंड बैंकिंग.
Hmm.
उसको मैंने मतलब उसको मैंने फुल 1 ईयर का कवर किया था
Okay.
स्पेशली जो बिग न्यूज होती हैं.
Hmm.
तो उन आई यूज्ड विजन आईएस का एक मटेरियल आता है PT 365 उसको भी रेफर किया था थोड़ा सा कि मुझे
Okay.
बिग न्यूज पता चल जाए. बिकॉज नाउ डेज क्या हो रहा है 2 साल से कि इकोनॉमिक्स बैंकिंग रेगुलेटरी अदर रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज
Hmm.
इन पे बहुत क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं स्कीम्स.
Hmm.
और ये लिमिटेड नहीं है लास्ट 4 मंथ्स की. ये अराउंड 7-8-10 मंथ्स तक अब जा रहा है पैटर्न.
Hmm.
तो उसको देखते हुए मैंने इस साल ये स्ट्रैटेजी अडॉप्ट की थी जीए के लिए
Okay.
कि 1
So
ईयर का कवर करते हैं।
for the GA, for the miscellaneous, we can say for the sports, defense, and such, you
हाँ,
focused on the 4 months. But for
4
the
मंथ,
ESI, for the economics and social issues, you referred to the 1 year, we can say.
1 ईयर,
The
हाँ,
Yes, but in the 1 year, the previous months, you only focused on the major parts.
मेजर
The
न्यूज।
Yeah, for the recent months, you were more thorough in completing all the news, right? Okay.
हाँ,
So, and how important do you think the revision part is? How many times of revision did you do?
I tried to revise at least 4 times, मतलब one study and 3 revision cycles.
Okay.
So
And
at least 20, हाँ, at least 20 days before I targeted कि phase 1 के 20 days before मेरा एक syllabus एक बार complete हो जाए, और जो सिर्फ अब next current आएगी next 5-6 days की उतना ही करना है नया, उसके अलावा फिर revision, last 20 days at least 3 revisions तो करनी है।
okay. So you did like 4 revisions. And did you attempt many of the mock test also?
हाँ, at least 10 mock tests.
Okay.
I did at least 10 mock tests, both last year and this year also. I did at least 10 mock tests you have to do because I think mocks are the most important thing. और रिटेंशन में भी हेल्प करता है एंड इट हेल्प्स टू आइडेंटिफाई योर मिस्टेक्स, टाइम कैसे मैनेज करना है एग्जाम में, अलग
Mm.
अलग पैटर्न्स ऑफ पेपर आ सकता है एग्जाम में, उसको कैसे मैनेज करना। आई थिंक मॉक्स आर नेसेसरी फॉर these things.
Okay. And did you prepare your own notes or you were just highlighting the PDFs?
No, I prepared my own notes. I preferred it that way. I
Okay.
prefer some would say कि हाँ मतलब थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा टाइम लगता है, बट if you write it, it will it will help in retaining better.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I preferred writing it myself and revising from my own notes.
Okay. Now coming to the QRE, the quant reasoning and English. So what was your strategy for the QRE?
For QRE, I saw videos of EduTap,
Okay.
which helped me prepare my basics, and then I practiced through mocks. I
Okay.
would give sectional mocks also for QRE.
Okay. So you had the course of EduTap or you were watching YouTube videos?
For phase 1, I used YouTube videos.
Okay.
For phase 2, I had the course.
Okay. And did you see marathon sessions or such?
Yes, all the sessions I saw, all the marathon sessions and daily sessions were there. And then just 3 days before the exam, those long sessions I used to watch.
Yeah.
And since I had already prepared those things from earlier sessions and revised, I could watch it at 2x speed. So it would save a lot of time for me just 2-3 days before the exam.
Okay.
And
And
it would
this
be
time,
really.
hmm. And this time there was a lot of finance questions that came because usually the
Hmm.
students are like ki RBI notifications we should leave or the finance current affairs we should leave. So what was like when you saw those questions, what was your take on that? Were you able to attempt them?
I was able to attempt because 2019, so I was seeing this change ki they are more moving towards more economics and finance and government schemes
Hmm.
rather than those generic questions about brand ambassadors. These types of questions are increasingly getting less and less.
Hmm.
So I had prepared more finance, uh, anything related to banking, any regulatory body has taken a major step.
Hmm.
That is, they are asking in the paper these days. So I saw that pattern and based on it, I prepared. So I was able to deal with it.
Okay. Okay. And for that also you focused like many of the students have this habit of going to the RBI website and then they get afraid. So for the RBI notifications for the finance current affair, were you also following the RBI website or were you following a particular magazine?
I would watch YouTube videos of EduTap for it.
Okay. Okay. So you covered everything from there only.
हाँ मतलब I watched the videos and then just I would scroll through the website if any news is missing, but it wasn't the case usually. It was very well covered in YouTube only.
Okay. So now we have discussed about the phase one. Let's move to the phase two part.
Phase 2.
So yes, starting from FM. So finance and management. First of all, what was your for the objective part? How were you preparing? Were you making your own notes?
हाँ, for entire objective and descriptive for both, I made my own notes.
Hmm.
In for phase 2, I had taken the course of EduTap, and based on the syllabus, I used to just prepare one topic and prepare short notes from it so that I could revise it later, because the time between phase 1 and phase 2 is very less. So you
Yes.
need your crisp notes to revise it adequately.
Okay. And were you practicing the descriptive answer writing, or you were comfortable because you were from the UPSC background?
Mm, No, no, you are not. I was not comfortable. Like the timing is a major issue, because you need to write very fast. 90 minutes, you have to write around 2,000 plus words. So it's very difficult to write. So at least practice one answer daily, at least between phase 1 and phase 2. 1 to 2 answers you have to write. Exam में you cannot directly produce, and mistakes होंगी, वरना grammatical mistakes है, spelling mistakes है, which will cost you marks.
Yes, true.
And paper भी नहीं complete होगा, I think, because time नहीं रहता है paper में. You have to write very fast.
Now coming to 400 words. For the questions of 400 words, how many words were you targeting?
350 to 370.
Okay. And for
Uh,
600?
Same
552.
550 to 560
Okay.
was my
And
target.
this time in ESI and in finance, both they both were more current affairs oriented.
Hmm.
There was direct questions from the UPI, the credit pay and such. So when you saw those questions, were you afraid or were you comfortable with those questions?
I was a bit surprised, matlab, last year, because mostly it was static.
Hmm.
But this year they asked individual report based questions. So it was a bit surprising. But then I did those questions at last and kept my cool कि ठीक है, टॉपिक के बारे में जो आता है एटलीस्ट उतना तो लिख दो. If
Hmm.
not report specific, everything can be written. एक दो पॉइंट्स ही थे, क्योंकि रिपोर्ट में तो you read just summary कि ये हुआ. So it was very difficult to write 600 words. तो जो भी टॉपिक का था कि women based question था, तो उस पे women के थोड़े issues लिख दिए. इस टाइप से I managed it. It was a
Okay.
bit surprising. That's another area where practice will help you. If you will write some 2 3 questions out of the box, you are better equipped to deal with it in the examination.
True. So practice is the main key point here because the pattern is continuously changing for the RBI Grade B
Hmm.
in the sense that the questions they are asking, they in that sense it is changing every year. This time
Hmm.
it was more current affairs oriented for the finance section,
Descript. Hmm.
particularly finance section. So yes, that was the key point here because previously like in the finance it was more static, but this time two questions directly came from the current affairs. So yes, it was quite surprising.
Hmm.
Now,
Every
for
year they are giving some new surprise. So we have to be
yes,
mentally prepared कि ठीक है, कुछ तो surprise आएगा. Just need to remain calm and remember कि ये surprise सबके लिए है.
true. And for
So
one
no
thing
need
that
to
I
panic.
forget, कि phase one was also a little different this year because in the
Hmm.
GA it was like very lengthy questions. So
Lengthy
how you
questions.
tackled them?
For that, I read only parts of. I tried to identify keywords की keyword मिल जाए, and based on it, I tried to answer it. I knew कि GA was getting lengthier every year.
Hmm.
2022 it was lengthier than 21. So I just focused on identifying the keyword, and if I didn't knew the answer, I would move immediately. I would not waste any time.
Okay. And were you able to read the 80 questions?
No, I don't think I was able to complete, but I did enough questions. Around 70, 75 I was able to reach,
Hmm.
and I had attempted around 40, 42 questions.
Okay. Okay.
After so much practice, I just realized that the level of paper was very high, so I don't need to go to 60 or 55
Hmm.
attempts.
So
So that helped.
this you will know only after giving lots of mock test
Yes,
because you
from
will
mocks and
understand.
past experience, yes,
Hmm.
I was able to gauge the difficulty level very easily, and based on it, I modified my attempts.
Okay. So now coming back to the phase two, the finance and management part, what was your core source for finance and management both?
For both, my core source was EduTap material, which I had bought last year only.
Okay.
So I had prepared notes from it, which I used. And apart from it, I would refer to YouTube videos for some specific topics like financial crisis. I found a bit difficult.
Hmm.
Leadership theories, transactional and transitional one, I have transformational. So उनके लिए I would refer YouTube videos जो मुझे थोड़ा समझ नहीं आ रहे थे, topics were
Hmm.
difficult थे.
Okay.
And उसके अलावा आई प्रैक्टिस एमसीक्यूज यूट्यूब पे ही, जिस भी सोर्स के एमसीक्यू मिल जाते थे आई वुड डू दैट,
Okay.
व्हिच हेल्प इन रिवीजन.
Okay, so you made your own notes from the EduTap material and then you practice lots and lots of MCQs just to go through with the idea that what kind of questions come and how to
हाँ.
answer them. Okay, so now after discussing the finance and management, coming to the ESI part. So ESI is very much current affairs oriented. So how you
हम्म.
tackled ESI, how you tackled the questions, they were also report based, the question on migration and such. So how you tackled those questions?
Like some of which obviously were surprising and I had not prepared, so I left a bit of them. But after last year, I realized that government, they are going very detailed now. They're not asking schemes or reports at superficial level.
Hmm.
So जितना भी मैंने प्रिपेयर किया था, I prepared in detail. So mission life जैसे इस बार क्वेश्चन आया था. So I had prepared it in very detailed कि 7 वो हैं pillars हैं and 3 phases हैं, 3 policies है, तो पूरा detailed में ही prepare किया था. So वो help किया मुझे.
Okay.
तो
And
हाँ, मतलब I fixed कि इतनी schemes करनी है और इतने रिपोर्ट्स करनी है एंड इनको पर डिटेल में करना है कि इनसे क्वेश्चन आ गया तो आई हैव टू हिट ऑल द 3 क्वेश्चन.
okay. And schemes and reports कितना पुरानी की आपने? 1 year or 6 months?
6 months बिकॉज इतना अगर आप डिटेल में कर रहे हैं तो ऑलरेडी इट गेट्स
Hmm.
लॉट बल्की. सो आई
Okay.
केप्ट इट 6 months फॉर फेज 2.
Okay.
अनलेस एकदम न्यूली लॉन्च्ड स्कीम है then I would read it, but if there are modifications in an older scheme, I would keep it to 6 months.
Okay. And usually it is very difficult to remember the data points, especially when it comes
Hmm.
to schemes, because there are and lots of schemes. So aims get mixed and matched, and the objectives and the data points. So how you were able to remember those points in the examination?
Like रिविजन ही था मेन. जैसे पहले रीड कर लिया, फिर उसको लिख लिया, फिर यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस भी देख लिए. अगर वही
Hmm.
स्कीम रिपीट हो रही है तो वीडियो एक बार 2 बार देख लिया, सेकेंड टाइम 2x स्पीड पे देख लिया, तो उससे काफी रिटेंशन हो जाता था. बाकी होता है बहुत सारे, टू मेनी नंबर्स, तो पेपर एक के दिन तो लगता है कि एवरीथिंग इज मिस्ड अप. बट इन एमसीक्यू वंस यू सी द ऑप्शन समटाइम्स दैट हेल्प्स कि ठीक है, हाँ यही नंबर है.
Okay. So it's like you have to revise a lot, especially in the GA,
रिविजन.
in the ESI portion, you have to revise a lot and practice a lot, and as much as you can
बिकॉज
watch
इतना
the
सारा है.
videos.
हाँ, वही पढ़ के यू कैन डू इट. एंड वीडियोस, आई थिंक मुझे पर्सनली वीडियोस ऑलवेज हेल्प कि बेटर रिटेंशन होता था. एक बार देख लो और सुन लो तो इसलिए आई वुड वॉच वीडियोस वंस और ट्वाइस एटलीस्ट.
Okay. Or is very static portion also came. Like there was a question from the
WTO.
WTO round and the IMF also. So how like were you prepared for the static questions?
Not per se, I was not like in this attempt I hadn't prepared. I thought कि करंट ही आ रहा है तो 30 में 30 करंट ही करना है. बट थोड़ी बहुत पास नॉलेज थी सिविल सर्विसेज की, उसने हेल्प किया. बाकी ऐसे पर्टिकुलरली प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं था, तो ऑब्वियसली कुछ क्वेश्चंस ड्रॉप करने पड़े थे एसआई में.
Okay. So we can say इस बारी थोड़ा सा पैटर्न ESI में static था, 10 marks का we can say
हाँ,
static था. In
मिक्स
the
था.
Yeah, in the descriptive also there was a question regarding monetary policy. So were you able to do that?
हाँ, वो तो आई हैड प्रिपेयर्ड कि मॉनेटरी पॉलिसीज पार्ट ऑफ द सिलेबस, तो वो बहुत थरली प्रिपेयर्ड थे मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी टूल्स तो.
So now the students should be focused on static also, at least the basic
हाँ,
idea.
डिस्क्रिप्टिव में तो इन बोथ रादर कि मिक्स ही आ रहा है स्टैटिक एंड करंट. लाइक इन ऑब्जेक्टिव इफ देयर आर 4 क्वेश्चंस, 3 आर करंट बेस्ड, 1 इज स्टैटिक, और 2
Hmm.
आर करंट एंड 2 आर स्टैटिक. दैट्स व्हाट दे आर डूइंग.
Okay, true. So now I think we have discussed about the phase two also. Let's discuss about English and then we can move forward. So for English, usually the students have the perspective कि मैंने descriptive की तैयारी कर ली ESI और FM में. So descriptive English की अलग से क्या करनी? Why should we put too much effort? So were you having the same assumption कि I should leave the descriptive English practice?
नहीं नहीं, आई थॉट कि डिस्क्रिप्टिव इंग्लिश कुड बी वन एरिया वेयर आई कैन स्कोर हायर मार्क्स if I follow the rules. So I did write 2 essays and 2 precis before the examination. I saw all the rules. I made sure that I am complying with the rules.
Okay. And what did you attempt first? Pressy, essay, reading
I
comprehension?
did preci first.
Okay.
I did because I found it the most difficult. Ki there are so many rules and then you have to shorten it. And the paragraph given is also very slightly tricky in
Hmm.
preci. So I started with preci, then I did essay, and then whatever time was left, I went for RC.
Okay. And how much time of your preparation did you give to the descriptive English preparation?
No, I gave time only between phase one and phase two.
Okay.
As I said, I just wrote, practiced two essays and two presses and two RCs. That's it, and watched a few YouTube videos for rules. That's it.
Okay. Okay. So now I think we can move forward with the interview part. So how was the panel? Were they cordial? Were they very relaxed or what?
This year they were very cordial. Last year they were like, I got grilled because they
Mm.
asked a question on my job profile which I was not able to tell, and the chairman got very angry कि तुम्हें इतना भी नहीं आता. And then there was a question on department of RBI again, which I was not able to tell last year. So last year it was not so cordial. This year the board was totally different, and they were much more cordial. And they would even hint you sometimes, "Ki, think on these lines, this would be answered." So
Mm.
they were in no mood to grill. They were quite good this year.
Okay. And what was the reaction like? You entered the meeting room and were you nervous? What was the feeling at that time?
Obviously, I was मतलब nervous, very nervous. Ki after last year's interview, even more nervous. Ki I hope I don't do that thing again. But once I sat there and they were very cordial initially, and after the initial conversation, I was very calm.
Okay. And what kind of questions did they ask you?
In questions like this year, I was last on the day of the interview. So they initially the chairman said ki I don't have any more questions left. You tell us what you want to tell us about. You tell the question and you give the answer. So I was very like bamboozled for a minute ki what should I do? But after I was confused ki how should I discuss hobbies or should I do something else technical? And then I decided ki theek hai RBI ka interview. So I started discussing about RBI and how was it formed, why was it formed. And then they asked some more details, ki which committee recommended RBI and what was the role of Simon Commission in formation of RBI, these types of questions. Then it was a discussion on functions of RBI, around 10-12 minutes, different functions, payment and settlement function, the monetary policy, issue function, all these were discussed. So it was like on the technical lines which I had prepared, unlike last year, which was totally surprised on areas where I had not prepared well.
Okay. And like before going for the final interview, did you give any mock interview?
Yes, I gave three mock interviews.
Okay. And how helpful they were for the final interview?
Very helpful, I think, and like it helped me plug the gaps because in one of the interviews they told me which all topics I have not covered. So important topics that was there, which helped me build my confidence also. कि ठीक है, ये topics भी अब covered हो गए. And then one of the interviews, body language, may I was given a lot of comments. So I think body language one really helped in my interview because uh, main interview में I did interview में कुछ questions नहीं आते थे, but I was able to maintain my calm और body language हमेशा मैंने positive रखी कि ठीक है, I'm not getting nervous. So वो help किया था.
Okay. And now any message that you want to convey to the students?
Uh, ठीक है. Message would be यही कि never give up, keep trying, but make sure you are always improving. Think about continuous self assessment is necessary. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि 3-4 अटेम्प्ट हो रहे हैं बट वही हो रहा है जो प्रीवियस अटेम्प्ट में हुआ था.
Mm.
That is wrong. If you are continuously improving, identifying your mistakes, one day definitely you will find the name in your list, your name in the list.
That is so true. Now, before going, like there is a one question that is left. How did you manage? Like you said that you were working in weekdays, you were not able to prepare that much. Like you were putting 1 hours, 2 hours, and in the weekends you were putting more days, more hours. So, like, was there never the pressure in your mind? Ki today I was not able to prepare. Today I was not able to study. या target नहीं achieve हो रहे हैं. So, was there
Hmm.
ever this kind of pressure?
हाँ ऑब्वियसली मतलब इट गिल्ट होती थी एंड ऑफ द डे कि आज पढ़ाई नहीं की, डे वेस्ट कर दिया है. बट वही था कि लेटर ऑन आई रियलाइज कि ठीक है, नेक्स्ट डे करना है, ब्रेक हो गया, नेक्स्ट डे यू मेक श्योर कि टारगेट अचीव हो रहा है.
Okay. So
ऑब्वियसली वी आर नॉट मशीन्स, मतलब कि करना है. देर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल सिंग कि 24 घंटे 16 घंटे सब पढ़ो. आई थिंक दैट इज रॉन्ग. जस्ट मूव इन द राइट डायरेक्शन एंड keep yourself fresh and continuously identify your mistakes and keep moving.
like the message you also gave, ki continuously keep improving, because
हाँ,
if you
मतलब
are not,
एग्जाम आ रहे हो. सॉरी.
no, it's your interview.
तो इट वाज कि यस कि कंटिन्यूस इम्प्रूवमेंट भी करना, एंड ब्रेक डाउन नहीं होना चाहिए एग्जाम के 1-2 महीना पहले. यू आर ऑलरेडी टायर्ड कि बहुत जोश में पढ़ ले, बहुत हाईली. So manage, pace your preparation well also.
True.
Manage yourself.
हाँ वही, कि अगर पास्ट मिस्टेक से यू आर नॉट लर्निंग, दैट इज योर मिस्टेक देन,
हाँ,
बिकॉज
that is a
दैट
major
you should
mistake.
do. Yeah, but if you are learning from your past mistakes, if you are moving ahead, so that
Hmm.
is a good go. So any,
Hmm.
like there are many students that will connect with you because they have not cleared phase 1 in their first attempt or second attempt. So for them particularly, if you want to give any message or give any words.
For them again, I'll say कि keep trying. Identify कि क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, and there's no point कि blaming the paper कि पेपर ऐसा हो गया, पेपर वैसा. पेपर will change every year. It won't be according to what you think. But you have to be prepared. You have to identify your mistakes कि यहाँ यहाँ mistakes हुई हैं, और practice a lot. इतनी प्रैक्टिस कर लो कि किसी भी टाइप का पेपर आए, you are prepared for it.
So thank you very much. So this is the end of this session, and thank you so much, Aviral, for coming. It was really great talking with you.
Thank you, ma'am. My pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming. Have a good day.
Thank you.